was one position that I'm really, really excited about going into this season, it has to be the wide receivers. I can't remember the Eagles having a group of young, talented, fast receivers in a very, very long time. Probably since Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole.
Oh, Dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks. You're right the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're ready for a holiday weekend. I hope you're getting at least 3 days off this week. I hope everybody's hanging in there. It's been a long week for me, definitely, and I'm looking forward to this weekend. I will be putting out a Eagles prediction video for wins and losses, probably Sunday or Monday, sometime like that. I'm probably going to do Dallas, the no-names, and the stinky Giants as well. So look for those in coming days. We're just over a week before the Eagles go in to Atlanta and double moonwalk that ass. Cannot wait. It's going to be fun. And oh yeah, one thing I gotta say. I want Bad Dog. I want him to know I haven't forgotten this.
About the best coach in the history of the NFL.
I haven't forgotten it.
Sirianni.
I haven't forgotten it.
Lombardi. He's
You
better
did
than
a great
Parcells.
job.
He's better than
You look
Belichick.
great in Eagles green, but I haven't forgotten. I have not forgotten. Don't think I have. Just like I haven't forgot Mark Holmes and Michael Anthony. Where's the fitness? Always having me and clips of me in the live streams. So just want you to know I've not forgotten. Now, before we get into what I want to talk about, I want to talk about this signing yesterday. Really a pickup off of waivers, right? The Eagles made a few different moves, but the one I found to be the most fascinating was the pickup of this corner, Andre Chachere, I think that's how you say his last name, off the waivers from the Colts. Now, when they first did it, I didn't know anything about him and stuff like that. I just know that if you pick a guy off of waivers, he's got to go into your 53-man roster. And I knew Jonathan Gannon, Nick Sirianni. I know that they understand the Colts and they're from that Colt organization. So they would have a pretty good idea of what this guy is. So I was looking into him a little more. I think 6'1", 195, 25 years old. What struck me as very interesting was the amount of the Colts players and stuff who were surprised that he was let go. Like, a lot of people thought this guy is going to make our 53-man roster, and he didn't. And apparently, the great thing about this kid is he can play every position in the secondary. So this is a kid that the Eagles picked up off waivers. I don't know a lot about him. I just know what I've read. But it sounds like he could be a real steal for the Eagles. Now, we'll have to keep an eye, give him a chance to adjust. But if we could get a guy, and I say this all the time, anytime you get guys who can play multiple positions, they are very, very valuable. Okay? So let's keep an eye on this kid because I thought it was a good pickup, no question about it. Driscoll was put on the IR, which really surprised me also. I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I didn't get home till really late. Like I said, it's been a long week, but now we have a 3-day weekend at hand, and I need it. Believe me, I need it. But yeah, I'm very curious about this defensive back pickup. I want to see what he could do because I'm reading good things about him. Reading that this kid can play in this league. So we'll find out. Now, when we look at this season, right, we have brand new coach. We have for the most part, brand new quarterback as far as I'm concerned. Okay? You have brand new defensive coaches, all new coaching staff. You have a lot of young players on this team. You still have some veterans, though. You still have guys like Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. You have guys that have been around and have played. Darius Slay. So I think you have a very nice mix of young and good and solid veterans, okay? And this is why, and I'll get more into this in my Eagles prediction, this is why I think the Eagles are going to be far better than what people think, okay? Health is my biggest concern going in because we have not been healthy over pretty much since Doug Peterson came in, right? Under Chip Kelly, drinking all them sticky tofu, collard green, whatever smoothies. They were healthy. They were healthy. Maybe not tofu because soybeans stink, okay? But the collard greens and all the different vegetables and vitamins and whatever they were putting in that thing, it was working. Those smoothies were working. Then Doug comes in and we're back to Fat Taco Tuesday. Carson Wentz is blowing up like a beast. Like, he's looking like Philly 500. It was getting gross and everybody's getting hurt. Now, I hope, coming out of this preseason, I hope that we can remain relatively healthy, okay? I'm not saying you have to be Chip Kelly. I mean, Chip Kelly was like a tyrant. The guy was a tyrant. Chip Kelly. The guy was monitoring people. He was making them bring trackers so he could find out what time they're going to sleep and stuff like that. Get the hell out of here with that crap. I'll double moonwalk that ass you try to do that to me. I'm a free American, baby. So, anyways, hopefully, Nick Sirianni, my cannoli-eating, gabagool dish-out coach, hopefully, you know what I mean? He's maybe have a little pasta here, a little this here, a little gabagool, a little veal parmesan, all that good stuff. But the guys won't overdo it. You know what I mean? Maybe like one cannoli every other day for the players. All right, especially the offensive line. But, I mean, hopefully, we'll stay healthy is what I'm trying to stay without being a tyrant like Chip Kelly and then without being the opposite extreme that like Doug, which seemed to like not care. That's how it came off of anyways. But health would be my biggest concern on this team. Position-wise, my biggest concern is the secondary because I just think you're very thin. And you're also thin at the offensive line too. Really, you're also thin, I think, at the defensive line. You got 7 linebackers. So depth is a big concern for this team. But when we talk about what's the most exciting part of this team, I mean, there's a lot of things to be excited about. You could be excited about Jalen Hurts. You should be very excited about these running backs, okay? Because I think Miles Sanders is going off this year. I really do. I think he's going to go off. I think Gainwell is going to be a big contributor. I expect Jordan Howard to be brought back up at some point. And you got Boston Scott. I think your running backs, they look good. Tight ends, they look good. Goddard, I'm a big Goddard guy. You're going to keep Zach Ertz. So, you're going to get 2 very productive tight ends. Then you have Stoll, who's a young kid who shows some talent. So, the skill positions from running back, tight end to wide receiver is very nice. It is very, very nice. And then when we speak of those those receivers, man, I don't think there's another position I'm more excited about than the wide receivers. Here's why, okay? Here's why. Because I know who Devontae Smith is. I know what Devontae Smith is. Devontae Smith is that dude. He is that guy. He is the man. He is going to double moonwalk that ass, and you're not going to know your ass was double moonwalk because you can't keep up with him. The guy walks on air. He moonwalks on air. The guy's a great route runner. The guy's a stud. You could start, I don't know if this is going to sound bad. People get mad. Start taking his measurements for his gold jacket because I think he's got that kind of level of talent, okay? His biggest thing is going to be his size. If he doesn't take big hits and knows how to avoid them, know to get down when you got to get down, all those kind of things, he's going to be a problem for a long time. There hasn't been a more talented wide receiver on the Eagles roster since T.O. I really believe that. And I know people love Deshaun Jackson, love Macklin. But Deshaun Jackson was an ultimate deep threat. He wasn't the kind of receiver this guy is. This guy is an all-around good receiver. What am I trying to say? I'm sorry, I pulled a Marco. My head itched. Big fat head. But I got to pause for that one. But I think Devontae Smith, I think he's a stud. I think he's the most talented receiver we've had since T.O. And I think this year will bear that out. But he's maybe the talented young receiver I've ever seen the Eagles draft. I mean it. I mean, Mike Quick was already a veteran when I remember. Chris Carter was already kind of out there when I start really remembering the Eagles. He was already playing for them. I remember Fred Barnett, Calvin Williams. When they drafted those two guys, you said, oh man, these young receivers look like they're going to be good. And you felt that. I feel like that with these guys. So you have Devontae Smith, who I think is just next level. Then you have Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor was a first-round pick the year before. A lot of people writing him off, saying he's a bust, this, that. He goes out, he comes into camp, let's face it. He comes in, he can't pass his physical, don't look like he's where he needs to be. My man, Nick Sirianni, my Kilo Eaton coach, he gets up on his ass, and boom, bing, bang. My man comes out, and he starts playing. And ever since that point, I think Reagor's been a different guy. So I think Reagor has got a lot of upside. I can't wait to see him play this year. I think he could be very good. And I think people should not sleep on Jalen Reagor. I think he could be explosive, especially with Devontae Smith, with Quez, who we're going to talk about in a second. Those tight ends, the running backs. There's a lot of space opened up for Jalen Reagor. So I'm very excited about Reagor as well. And then, of course, my man Quez Watkins. What can I say about Quez Watkins? I love the guy coming out of the draft. I was so excited about drafting him. The day we drafted, I said we just got to steal the draft. That's what I said. And I was right. And I said, all season, I said, the guy you got to watch out for is Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins. Watch out for Quez Watkins. Because Quez Watkins is coming to play. You could see it. You could see how he played last year. That he had the talent, he had the ability, he just needed the shot. He comes in, and to me, he was the standout at training camp. Now he's your starting outside receiver. He won that job. I knew he would win. I knew he would win that job. And he won it. And you know what? He's going to go out there, and he's going to make big plays. And then all of a sudden, after week 1 or week 2, he's going to be like the biggest pickup in fantasy football. It's going to happen. He's explosive. He is fast. He is big. He can go inside. He can go outside. You know what I mean? So I think when you look at these three receivers, and I'm specifically talking about the three starters, they all have speed. They all have explosiveness. 2 of them are first-round picks. And I think they are going to give this league fits. And if Jalen Hurts gets time and the offensive line stays relatively healthy and they use the running game the right way, these receivers are going to go off. Now listen, that doesn't mean they're going to just go out from day one and just destroy everybody. They are going to have a learning process. They are going to have good games, bad games. They're going to have ups. They're going to have downs. But by the time I think you get into like December, I really think they're going to start playing really, really well together. And I think they are going to be very formidable. The Eagles' skilled positions on this team, I don't remember it being this young and this good, or this talented, this much upside. Let's say that, right? They still have to go prove it on the field, so we'll say upside. They have a lot of upside. I'm very excited about them. There is nothing more exciting to me than what they've done offensively. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to put the football helmet on, run through the stinking wall, and let's get this game going. I will be streaming. You know it. I'll be pacing, yelling. It's going to be fun. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. I just spilled my drink. Mark Holmes, I'm coming for your meats. Hey, Bad Dog, I'm coming for your chicken.